Lately I've noticed some unusual bleeding. At first I thought it was just hormones or perimenopause, but now I am worried. On top of that, I've been feeling bloated and tired with a strange discomfort in my lower abdomen. Are these things connected, or am I just overthinking it?
These are really important observations, Emilia, and you're absolutely right to listen to your body. Abnormal bleeding, especially between periods, after sexual intercourse or after menopause, can be an early warning sign of endometrial cancer. And while bloating, fatigue, and pelvic discomfort can have many causes, when symptoms like this persist for more than 2 weeks, it's time to get them checked out. Also, stress or hormonal changes might be behind some of what you're feeling. But it's always better to be cautious. A simple evaluation can give you peace of mind or help catch something early when treatment is most effective. Your body knows when something is off. Trust it.
What happens if they suspect it's cancer? What kind of tests should I expect? I've already Googled everything and now I'm even more confused and scared. I don't want to find out something bad, but not knowing feels even worse.
Emilia, it's absolutely okay to feel this way. Your reaction makes sense. You're not alone feeling this. Just hearing the word cancer can feel overwhelming. But knowing what's coming next really help take away some of that fear. If your doctor suspects something, the first step are usually a pelvic exam and a transvaginal ultrasound to look at the uterus more closely. If anything looks unusual, they might recommend an endometrial biopsy. That's a quick procedure where a small tissue sample is taken from the uterus and sent to the lab. If we still need more clarity, the next step might be a hysteroscopy. That's a tiny camera used to look directly inside the uterus. I know it can sound a lot, but each step brings us closer to answer and to making the right plan for you. It's completely natural to search online when you're feeling anxious. Just keep in mind that not all informations on the internet are accurate or up to date. It's best to stick to trusted sources like ESGO, Engage, patient advocacy groups, or the information you get from your own care team. And if you ever feel lost or unsure, please ask your doctor to explain everything. That's exactly what we are here for. Facing the unknown is scary, but when you have the right information and people to support you, it becomes something that you can handle step by step. Early diagnosis can really make differences. And most importantly, you don't have to face any of this alone. Your care team will be by your side every step of the way.
This week, I finally faced something I'd been avoiding: the unknown. There were signs: bleeding that didn't feel normal, a tiredness I couldn't shake, a discomfort I kept brushing off. I told myself it was stress, hormones, age, just one of those things. But deep down I felt something wasn't right. I was scared. Scared of what it could be, scared of the word cancer. But the fear of not knowing eventually became louder than the fear of finding out. So, I asked. And then I heard the words no one is ever ready to hear. It's endometrial cancer. In that moment, everything around me seemed to be quiet. I felt frozen, like I was watching it happen to someone else. Numb, overwhelmed, disconnected. I didn't feel strong, I didn't feel brave, I just felt lost. All the quiet worries I had been carrying, the what-ifs I kept pushing aside, suddenly became real. They had names, and weight, and urgency, and yet, as heavy as the diagnosis was, finally knowing brought a strange kind of relief. The fear of the unknown had been its own burden, and now, at least, I could begin to face what was real. Now, I I find myself at the beginning of something I don't fully understand. And if I'm honest, I don't know if I can do this. But maybe I don't have to do it all at once. Maybe just one step at a time is enough. So that's what I'll try to do. I'll ask questions, I'll let others support me, I'll let myself feel everything without pretending to be okay when I'm not. And in doing that, I've already started to find small things that help. I've found people who truly listen. I've met doctors who speak with compassion, not just facts. I've begun to replace fear with understanding, and little by little, I start to feel less alone in this. The fear is still there, but something else is beginning to grow beside it. Strength. Not the loud, heroic kind, the quiet kind, the kind that comes from simply taking the next breath, the next question, the next step. I don't know exactly where this path will take me, but even on the day I feel alone, I remind myself I don't have to have all the answers right now. Just enough strength to keep going. There are so many doctors. One mentioned surgery, another talked about hormone therapy. I'm scared of making the wrong decision. Who do I even talk to about what? How am I supposed to choose? And what if I regret it?
Hi, Emilia. So let me start off by telling you that everything you're feeling is absolutely normal. It can feel very overwhelming to suddenly be surrounded by new medical terms, treatment options, and a whole bunch of medical stuff. It can feel like a whirlwind. So let's try together to break down some of the important points within your cancer journey. So first of all, your gynecological oncologist is your lead cancer specialist. They will look after your cancer care overall. A gyne-oncology surgeon will perform your operation. A medical oncologist will look after your chemotherapy or immunotherapy treatment if this is required. And a radiation oncologist will look after your radiotherapy treatment, again, if you need it. Apart from the physicians, you will also have a very strong support network of nurses, physiotherapists, psychologists, and dietitians who will look after your well-being before, during, and after your treatment. In terms of the treatment that you will go through, there isn't really for endometrial cancer a one-size-fits-all answer, because endometrial cancer care is deeply personal. For most women, an operation is the first line of treatment. The operation, the surgery, generally consists of a hysterectomy, which is removal of the womb, and sometimes also removal of lymph nodes. Depending on the stage, your age, your overall health, and whether fertility is important to you, also hormonal therapy may be appropriate. Regardless of all the choices in front of you, and I know this can feel very overwhelming, but we're here to work through this together. Your treatment plan needs to respect your values, your wishes for the future, and your body. It's okay to ask every question. You can ask it twice, 3 times, 4 times, as many times as you need. I generally recommend that you keep a notebook where you can write all of your questions down, and also to bring a person that you trust to your appointments. Also ask who's who within the consultation. It's also perfectly fine to ask for a second opinion to make you feel comfortable. The fear of making a wrong choice is real, but we're here to support you in your journey. You're doing the very best you can, and that is more than enough, Emilia.
I don't even know how to tell my family. What if they fall apart? What if I fall apart? Honestly, I thought I'd cry or scream, but I just feel completely numb. Is that normal?
Yes, Emilia, it's completely normal. When you're facing something this big, emotional numbness is a very human response to it. Some people cry, some may get angry, and many, like you maybe, feel nothing at all first. It's not wrong at all, and it doesn't mean that you are not processing. In fact, it's your brain's way of protecting you from becoming overwhelmed. These feelings, or even the lack of them, may come in waves. They may shift over time. It's like a roller coaster, we say. And as for telling your family, it's okay to feel unsure. Start small. Begin with someone you trust. Find a quiet place and quiet time. And you may say something like, I've been through difficult times and I want to share it with you. You don't have to explain everything at once. You don't have to have all the answers. And you're not responsible for holding everyone else together. It's not your task right now. This is your experience. And your job is simply to be honest about how you feel. Even if that's, I don't even know how I feel. If it feels too big, too overwhelming, a counselor or a support person can help you guide or even join the conversation with your family. There is no right way to feel and no perfect script for what comes next. Just your way.
This week, I found myself making decisions I never imagined. Sitting in rooms filled with unfamiliar words, trying to follow conversations about treatments and side effects. Hearing the word cancer still feels unreal. And yet, here I am. I've been scared to make the wrong choice. Scared of saying the wrong thing, scared I might break down, or worse, feel nothing at all. And when the time to tell my family and friends came, I didn't know where to begin. I was just thinking, what if they fall apart? What if I do? I thought I had to be strong, that I needed to know what to do, how to feel, what to say. But this week, I started to learn something else. Strength doesn't mean having all the answers. Sometimes it means just asking one question at a time, or letting someone come with you to your appointments, or writing your thoughts down in a notebook when everything feels too loud, or accepting help. And when it came to telling my loved ones, I started with one quiet moment, one trusted person, one simple sentence. I've had some hard news and I want to share it with you. That was enough to begin. I've learned it's okay to feel numb, to be overwhelmed, to not feel like a warrior. There's no right way to do this, only your way. What's helping me right now is keeping a small list of questions to bring to appointments. Asking who's who on my care system. Saying I need a moment when things feel too fast. Like letting someone in even if I don't have the words yet. This isn't easy. None of it is. But I'm learning to give myself grace. And little by little, I'm finding that hope doesn't have to be big or bold. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it's just the choice to keep going. I'm still me, even now. especially now. Tomorrow is my surgery. I keep picturing everything that could go wrong. And after that, they said I might even need chemotherapy. I'm terrified. What will it be like? How do I prepare myself for any of this?
Everything you are feeling is completely normal, Emilia. Facing surgery and the possibility of chemo can bring up fear and uncertainty. Stepping into the unknown, it's never easy for anybody. So let's start with surgery. Anxiety is a natural part of the process, especially the night before. So here are some advices that you can follow. Focus on small, comforting things. Pack a few familiar items with you in the hospital. And you can ask me every little thing that comes up in your mind, and I shall explain everything in detail. And remember, you can always lean on the people around you. Grounding yourself on a peaceful memory or some relaxing breathing exercises can help you calm your body. But most importantly, remember, this is a step towards healing, towards reclaiming your body, your health, and your future. As for chemotherapy, it can be overwhelming, I understand. Words like nausea, fatigue, or hair loss, even before everything has even started, can be overwhelming. But not everybody has the same experience. Some find it manageable, and some others need more time and more support to adapt. I will be there all the step of the way to support you, to manage your side effects, to answer your questions, and give courage to you and your family. You are not alone in this thing. And remember, you are allowed to feel fear, but always move forward. I know this is a difficult part of the path, but I will be there every step of the way to help you. Don't worry.
I woke up exhausted, in pain, and honestly, still scared. My body feels different now. I don't feel like myself. It's just like I've lost something. Will I ever feel whole again? Will I ever feel like me again? I'm also learning to rest, to accept help without guilt. But that's not something I'm used to. Maybe that's part of the recovery too.
Hello, Emilia. I want to say that everything you're feeling right now is completely valid. Recovery after surgery, especially as life-changing as cancer, takes time, usually more time than we expect. And there's the pain, the fatigue, the emotional exhaustion, which is all part of the healing process. And there's also the disconnection from your body. But you are not alone with this experience. Many women say that after the surgery or treatment, with the possibility of menopause, or just the emotional ups and downs, they just don't feel like themselves anymore. But please do know, you're still whole. You haven't lost yourself. You're still you. You're just rebounding. You're reshaping, which takes a lot of time, care, and patience. So please, pay attention to your bodies and your psychological needs. Take a walk, hydrate, take light exercises, or be with the ones that you love. And please do talk. It can be a friend, a support group, counselor, or a therapist, whatever feels best for you. It's just important that you don't feel alone, because you're not alone. And yes, rest is also part of the recovery process. It can be difficult, especially if you are used to being the one that cares about others, that takes care. But you have to take care of yourself right now. So please, don't rush anything. Take your time. Take a breath. Take a day, and one step at a time. And celebrate every small step on the way. because you're a fighter and you deserve self-compassion and love. So please, be gentle with yourself and remember, you're not alone in this.
This was a hard time. Surgery day came, and even though I'd prepared as best as I could, I still felt terrified. I kept picturing everything that could go wrong, and then there were whispers of chemotherapy, another unknown waiting in the distance. I woke up the next day groggy, sore, and honestly still scared. My body didn't feel like mine. I felt like something had been taken from me, like I'd lost a piece of myself. There was pain, then rest, then the quiet effort to sit up, to stand, to walk again. Each movement felt small, but it mattered. No one tells you how strange you can feel to look in the mirror and not quite recognize who's looking back. How tired you'll feel, deep down tired, and how hard it is to ask for help, let alone accept it. But slowly I'm learning that healing isn't just about stitches and scars. It's about emotions, identity, memory, and trust. I'm learning to rest, to not feel guilty for needing others, to let go of the versions of strength that means doing everything alone. Because real strength, I think, might be something quieter, like opening your eyes when it feels safer to keep them closed, asking a question when you're afraid of the answer, or like saying, I need help, when you'd rather say, I'm fine. I don't feel like myself yet, but maybe I'm not meant to rush back to who I was. Maybe healing isn't about returning. Maybe it's about becoming, gently, slowly, someone new, someone shaped by what I've faced. This week wasn't easy, but I made it through. As always, one breath, one step, one moment at a time. And for now, that is enough. Everyone keeps telling me I should feel relieved now that treatment is over. And I am grateful, but I also feel anxious all the time. What if it comes back? What if I can't find myself again? I've made it through so much, but I don't feel like I've arrived anywhere. I've changed. I want to live fully again, but I'm not sure how. Where do I even start?
Everything you're feeling is completely valid, Emilia. Fear of recurrence is one of the most common experiences after treatment ends. The constant what if can linger quietly or loudly, even long after the last appointment. It doesn't mean you're ungrateful or weak. It means that you're aware that you're human and you're still healing. And if it ever comes back, with a close follow-up program, recurrences will be detected early, and as before, you can fight it and win again, together with your doctors. Recovery isn't just physical, it's emotional, psychological, and deeply personal also. Life may not look the same as it did before. And that's okay. It doesn't have to. In fact, it can even become something better. Not by going back, but by learning to appreciate the simple, small things that often go unnoticed. You will probably need to reconnect with yourself in a way. Ask yourself gently, what brings me peace? What brings me joy? Start small. Movement that makes your body feel alive. Food that nourishes your body. Moments that calm your mind. People who help you feel seen. You don't need to have a perfect plan. You just need permission. Permission to explore, to question, to evolve, to be more than your disease, to identify as yourself. Talk to your doctor about a survivorship plan. One that includes follow-up care, emotional support, and tools for rebuilding both your body and your confidence. You don't have to carry this alone.
Since treatment, intimacy has changed in ways I didn't expect. I don't feel as connected to my body, and being close with someone feels more complicated now, physically and emotionally. Sometimes I wonder if I'll ever feel desirable again, or if I'll ever want to be touched. I feel guilt, frustration, even grief, but mostly I just feel confused. Is this something other women go through too? And if they do, how do they find their way back to themselves?
Hello, Emilia. Yes, what you're feeling is very common and incredibly real. Many women experience changes in intimacy after endometrial cancer treatment, especially when surgical, menopause, or pelvic changes are involved. These shifts can impact not only how your body functions, but how you feel in your body and, of course, in your relationships. But please remember, you're not alone in this, even if it often feels like something no one talks about. But you can talk about it. And more importantly, there is help available. It's important to speak openly with your doctors about these challenges, because there are many possible solutions and you deserve to explore them with support and care. There are many options, such as vaginal moisturizers and lubricants to ease discomfort, hormone therapy where appropriate, pelvic floor physical therapy to support healing, and counseling, of course, to explore the emotional side of intimacy. You deserve care that honors both your physical and emotional needs. It's okay if you're not ready to be close to someone. It's okay if you miss feeling connected to yourself. This is not about rushing back to normal. It's about discovering what safety, trust, and pleasure look like for you now. So let's start the conversation without shame. You're still whole. You're still worthy of love, comfort, and closeness in all the ways that feel right for you now. And when you're ready, there is support to guide you back to that space gently and with care.
People keep calling me a survivor, but I don't know what that means. Am I one now? Because honestly, I don't feel like it. I'm still processing. I still have fears. And part of me wonders, how do I carry this forward? Could I help someone else? I do want to give back. I just don't know how.
Hi, Emilia. I understand you have all these questions because I've had them myself, and I also know other patients who have these questions. You know, survivorship can be a difficult word because it's not a perfect point where you suddenly feel strong and fearless. It's actually very personal and it's a process. And it also doesn't mean that the hard part is over. As a matter of fact, it's really just the beginning. So survivorship is hard work, but it does mean you're still here. You're still showing up for yourself, for your healing, for your life, for your new health, even through the bad days. And there will still be bad days. But you get to define yourself what survivorship means to you. And it's something else to everybody. But it does mean you went through something life-changing and you carried it forward in your own way, your own special way, and at your own pace. And yes, there are, different ways for you to give back whenever you're ready and whenever you want to. And you could start by simply sharing your story, or join a local support group, write a blog, or maybe be a peer mentor for someone who is newly diagnosed. And it doesn't mean you have to have all the answers, because, just being there for someone and listening, could already mean the world. I just want you to know that your voice matters. When you speak, someone else will feel less alone. And advocacy is not about being done, because basically you will never be done. But it's about choosing to use your experience into something meaningful. And that choice is a powerful act of hope.
We talk a lot about diagnosis, about treatment, about fear and scans and surgery, but we don't talk enough about what comes after. No one really prepares you for the quiet after the storm, when treatment ends and everyone expects relief, even celebration. But often what you feel is something else entirely. You feel different, changed, not broken, but not quite whole either. The fear of it coming back follows you into moments that should feel free. And the body you now live in doesn't feel quite like yours. Intimacy is different. Trust is different. Even joy feels complicated. I found myself in that in-between space, not sure who I was, not yet sure who I'm becoming. They call me a survivor. I'm still learning what that means. I've survived, yes, but now I want to live, to rediscover pleasure, to feel safe in my own skin, to wake up with curiosity instead of dread. Some days I feel brave, other days I feel lost. But I'm learning to sit with the questions, to take up space in this new version of myself and to honor how far I've come, even when I don't have all the answers. I'm starting to ask, how can I help others? What can I offer that I didn't have? Because there's a power in telling the truth, even when your voice shakes. There's healing in being real. There's hope in turning your story into someone else's light. This isn't the end of my story. It's the beginning of a new chapter, written in the language of scars and strength, of softness and survival. And I am saying it with love, with courage, and with the quiet power of someone who knows what it means to begin again.